Hello, it's Artisan Crafter Amy, and I have another flip through for you. I should have flip throughs through the end of March now. What I do is I film these ahead of time, and then I schedule them for the first Friday. I didn't have a video scheduled with the flip through. So a lot of times when I post them for the Etsy shop, I just post them up immediately. But this time we're going to wait for Fridays. These items are already in the Etsy shop, and I just realized I hadn't done this yet. So this time we'll have the advantage of knowing they've been listed in the Etsy shop by the time you get to see this video for certain. I just love the image of this beautiful woman on the box, and the purple. I'd forgotten what a fan of purple I am until I started decorating this box. And I've been holding on to this picture for quite a while. It's too big for anything that I would normally make, but it's perfect for this box. And I think she looks beautiful on it. I hope you'll agree. And then here's the inside of the box that comes with our journal. I called this journal Vampire's Diary, and my daughter was like, there is nothing vampire about it, Mom. What makes it a vampire's diary? And I said, because that's what I was thinking when I made it. This can be the vampire herself, and it could be her box, or this could be a beloved family member of hers that she has on the box, or friend or lover or something like that she has on the box. You can decide. But when I made it, what I thought is the vampire herself isn't going to be gross and gory and want her stuff dripping with blood and covered in people's blood and stuff. Like, she's an elegant, beautiful Victorian woman, you know, lived through the Victorian times, and her stuff wouldn't be gross, but she would have lots of friends who were Victorian and have their photos, maybe again, lovers or family members, things like that. So when I put the things in here, the vintage photos and the replica vintage letters and things like that in there, that was my thought. It was the inspiration that guided me to create this. It's a botanical journal that's largely decorated with butterflies and flowers, and it actually, I can't remember which direction I went on this, was clockwise or counterclockwise, was that it was supposed to be for a swap, and oh goodness, it looks like oh, there we go. It was supposed to be for a swap, and then, as often happens, things just didn't work out. People get busy, other things happen, and, you know, I had another swap that was supposed to go to Australia, and they weren't accepting our first-class postage, and it was going to cost me over $70 to mail her our swap project. So we both agreed to just do that again later. So here, this one is now gone from a swap project to an Etsy shop, and all I've done is I just went through, this had been sitting for many months after I created it, waiting for the others, you know, giving the other swap partner a chance, and in the meantime I'd gotten some better products. So I swapped out the tie that I did have on there, used my eyelets also on the holes, and then used this beautiful sari silk that I didn't have when I originally created the journal. And then the other thing I did was I think I added this after as well, because this is something my friend Robin sent to me, and I believe that was after I had made it. That may not be true. There was a flip through on this, and I don't recall if I changed anything on the inside or not. Oh wait, we'll look at this and get some measurements after we look at the stuff that I made to make it into a gift set. So I just love the Victorian ladies. So I have 3 Victorian lady magnets on here. That I just think are so pretty. The magnets on these are really strong, so they kind of want to magnet to each other because they're so strong. And they also had little magnets holding them in the box. And then I've also tied a keychain with a similar image of one of those little ladies into the box with some linen twine. And then I made a little matchbox house to go with it for her to remember. There's maybe a gentleman, family member or something. Maybe this is a little replica of a house she had or owned once. And then on this one, I have another large portrait, or, you know, I've reprinted from a vintage photograph that I have, another really large image that I've held on to for ages because I just love the image. but I haven't had a way to use it because it was just too large a scale. And on the back of that is where I printed what I call my instructions or letter from the bookmaker. It gives ideas of ways people can use the journals or things like that. In case you give this to somebody who's never gotten one before and doesn't know what it is or what it's about. Junk journals, you know, explains what it is. Glue books, a little bit of that. And then, yeah, here's the inside, and the card slips out. So you could actually put your own image or something else on the back if you wanted it to be you inside the cover or something inside the back of there. And then I'm going to try to remember over, under, over, under, over. I'm not going to wrap it around because I just couldn't remember. All right. Here's the inside of the front cover, and here's room to make it your book, to write in the name. And then I've added some bling to the butterflies here and used more Victorian images, and I just love the colors of this paper. The person I was going to swap with had actually picked the color scheme. She described the colors and things she liked, and I immediately thought of this Midnight in the Garden paper. So, you know, she would have lots of vintage receipts and vintage documents and papers, having lived a long time. And then here's a rotating gate with a window. It is a tutorial on my project, or tutorial on my channel. And then there's a little picture there that fits in the window. And that will shut, twists with a gate. And then there's a pocket here where there's an article. There's pictures of Evelyn Nesbit in here. She was a famous model who was used for Coca-Cola and all kinds of things. And one man shot another man on stage during a play, you know, fighting over her. So, so that was an interesting story. This is her here, actually, Evelyn Nesbit. This is her here. And so maybe Evelyn's the vampire. Maybe you're just friends with Evelyn. I don't know if you're into the Evelyn Nesbit story at all. If you've never heard it, look it up. It was kind of interesting. And since I have a collection of her images that I've acquired, you know, the right to use, I wanted to throw those in there. So, yeah. The Evelyn Nesbit story. And then we have some beautifully embossed paper here, and just some really pretty, also embossed purple floral print paper. I just thought it looked so pretty in that pocket. And we have a bow top paper clip, just marking the page. Nothing happening there. Yeah, so really nice. And then what I've done is I've done a double pocket there that I also made a tuck spot, and I put in a piece of her favorite music here. Maybe she's a musician and she knows how to play or sing, or maybe that was just a favorite song so she could take it with her and ask someone to play it when she went places. And then again, here's more pictures. This could maybe be her sister or a good friend of hers, an aunt maybe. From before she was eternal, right? And this is her scrapbook or keepsake album that you could use as your journal. There's lots of, it could be her journal, but this has lots of room for writing in here with all of her memories. And then the sentiments or journaling prompts, if you want to write in here. I find that that my customers so far, I think, have unanimously said I'm not writing in it. It's too pretty. So maybe write on a separate piece of paper or on the backs of the images, and then everything still looks the same. You know, if you didn't want to change anything, but still journal in it. There's plenty of things to write on the back on, and always lots of pockets. So you could journal on a sheet of paper and then tuck that in behind these things. And here's some more, again, a family photo and a vintage postcard under the belly band here. I just think that looks so pretty. I love how that came out. Like all the things I do, I know it's done when I want to keep it myself, and that's the case again here. I'm so pleased with how it came out. I would be happy to have this myself. So this is a fun little project I had forgotten about that I would like to do a tutorial for on my channel. So, so nice little reminder there. So it flips open here, and I just kind of had that tucked down with some of the things coming out of this pocket. They were some die cut ephemera from the Midnight in the Garden ephemera pack. And then of course there's journaling spot all around and under here. And then same thing with this pocket. If you take the picture out, then this can flip up. There's another pocket in here. I really need to do a tutorial for this on my channel because it's so much fun and it's fast, it's easy. And then here's another photograph that I've backed onto product packaging, kept that out of the landfill as much as possible. And then here again, maybe a family member, a friend, or maybe a boyfriend. I even did some writing on the back as if people had gifted her the cards. You know what I mean? Like they actually belong to somebody. Not on all of them, because I thought you might want to imagine who the people were, and you could even add to that bit of it on your own if you wanted, you know, by adding more of those kind of ideas to the back. I use this butterfly as a tuck spot here. And again, this could maybe even be a self-portrait. You could decide which one of these people is your vampire and who are the friends and family if you wanted. Distressed photo there. And then here we have another gentleman. We've given him a name. Another postcard. And then we have her vintage documents at the back. She had a whole collection here of a receipt from buying some laundry soap and perfume, and a bank receipt, and, you know, from the grocer, and a handwritten receipt for some labor she had done, and a letter somebody wrote her. So there's several of those things in here, just tucked into the back. And then there's the back cover where you can see this beautiful doily I have on this slightly distressed purple striped paper. And I used metal corners. And I don't always mention, but when I print the pages, I print them on a laser printer for permanence, as opposed to inkjet, which is quite a bit more affordable. With inkjet printing, what could happen is if you spilled a soda or a drink on your project, it's not permanent. The picture would lift up and lift away, and your journal would, you know, whatever you spilled, it would be ruined. In the case of printing with a laser printer, if you spilled your beverage or whatever on it, it got wet, you got out in the rain or whatever happened, it accidentally got wet or something spilt on it, it would get more wrinkled and distressed and maybe stained, like tea or coffee stained, but all of your images would still be there. You know, if you hear what I'm saying. And so I realize my journals aren't the cheapest ones on Etsy. They're nowhere near the most expensive ones on Etsy. But I did want to point out that a lot of the journals are not laser printed. They are printed on inkjet printers. And just to point out that that is part of the added cost of mine, is that, you know, the minimum $100 a month on toner that I spend for the laser toner to have the top quality. And then I also buy, you know, the best printer paper. I buy the HP laser color print paper in 30-pound weight. Oh, our kitty says hello. She's not allowed up here, but we're letting her get away with it since we're at the end. Thank you so much for watching my flip through. I hope you really enjoyed this journal and the box gift set that are already in my Etsy shop. And thank you for watching my Flip Through Fridays. I hope you like watching them as much as I like making them. This is Artisan Crafter Amy, thanking everyone for watching today, and wishing you all a wonderful day.